You're gonna find a Los Angeles that you can taste and smell and touch because of her work.
Roll, please!
My thought was that it was something that she could have cobbled together herself, like tap pants and a scarf that she put around the waist. And she's thinking, it covers what I need to cover, but it shows everything that I want to show.
Babylon is not necessarily based on a true story, but it is inspired by many. Starring Margot Robbie, Brad Pitt, and Tobey Maguire, these Hollywood stars go through the story of what it's like to be in the Hollywood limelight when it was in the 1920s.
Our guiding principle for music was to be rooted in the time, but to really push the edges of what we normally expect.
With a release date of December 23rd, the film has already received big praise from critics about the storyline and actors assigned to the project. Not only has it been nominated for over 6 times, with multiple pending, but it has also won for Best Original Score during the Chicago Film Critics Association just last week.
We have everybody on their own personal mics. We have so many scenes where there's multiple conversations going on.
It's almost like controlled chaos sound.
Was it worth it? Oh my God, yeah. I think it will be the thing I'm most proud of in my entire life and my entire career, but also my entire life.
Today we want to take a look at the behind-the-scenes making of this film, so without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it. Just from the featurette, we get to see all the fun behind-the-scenes moments between all of these characters. Brad Pitt goes to explain what his character's role is in this film.
Jack Conrad is the biggest film actor at the top of his game, and he's calling a lot of the shots. Take 2 frames off the tail and 3 more off the head.
Manny is our guide through the story. These are eyes and ears from an outsider's point of view.
In discussions with Damien about how he wanted the film to look visually, from the get-go, he said, I want to be very historically accurate.
Following 3 different characters' journeys, it really defines what Hollywood is and supposedly the sides of Hollywood that people don't know about or couldn't have even imagined.
It's something bigger than life.
Nellie is an aspiring actress. She's like a tornado.
Hello, Colin!
Jesus Christ!
And she's not gonna let anyone stand in her way.
I got here on my terms, not theirs. Party time!
It's a uniquely different cinematic experience.
But before we get into more of these moments, some trivia for you. In 1999, what cult film did Brad Pitt star in? Leave your answer in the comments down below and stick around to the end of the video to find out if your answer was correct.
It's madness the way they used to shoot back then out in the desert in broad daylight because there's no sound. It was like a cacophony of noises, you know, it's so different, and which of course in the movie you then see how different things are once you enter, you know, the stages and the studios.
Given that the time period of this film is so early in the 1900s, the film composer had to get creative with learning about what the sounds of music would have been in terms of setting the tone to when audience go to see this film. It not only takes them back to this time period visually, but emotionally as well.
I was blown away by the script, and once we started talking about what the score could be, what if we use the instrumentation of a 1920s jazz band, but hinting at rock and roll and modern dance music, I got very excited about it. We wanted music that was more aggressive. Hell yeah!
Producer Damien really was pushing for this film to be precisely historically accurate, and judging from the behind-the-scenes shots, it looks like he did well with finding the right information and applying it to the final shots.
My pitch for Jack was that he's such a big movie star that he's just not formal.
Oh my God, JC!
He wears a tuxedo to the parties, but other than that, we don't see him in a suit. We hand knit all of his sweaters, we built all of his clothes, like head to toe, everything. And he looks fantastic.
Everything from the clothing choices to the set and hairstyles has to be perfect in his eyes. The extravagant new epic set in silent era Hollywood, a staggering 120 locations were used.
My first evolution is diving into research and looking at what the city looked like in the 20s.
They included a dusty, undeveloped Wilshire Boulevard, mansions and castles with all-night parties inside, gorgeous theaters, film stages, and studio backlots, and a war movie battlefield.
Florencia had this insane challenge with this movie of not just recreating Los Angeles of this time, but also within that recreating each studio experience, and within that recreating each of the sort of fictional movie sets. You're talking about sets within sets within sets.
We spoke yesterday about what Margot Robbie and Brad Pitt have been up to since the production of this film, but we wanted to talk about Tobey Maguire. Of course, we last seen him reappear in his Spider-Man suit helping Tom Holland in Spider-Man No Way Home, but this was his next project.
Sort of different rhythms to the editing that were just amazing to watch. I mean, again, making it just felt great. Like, I really enjoyed.
The last we heard of him was some voice work in The Boss Baby, where he voiced the character Tim Templeton in 2017.
Matt and Damien worked very closely in developing the script that Damien was writing, and I was, I was a support. I was there to do whatever I was asked to do.
And not only is he filling in as an actor for this project, but also is credited as the executive producer. As of recently, he was spotted on the red carpet with his 16-year-old daughter, Ruby, in promotion for this film.
And actually, with the costumes, we really explored pretty different ideas. And that one that we put on just, for me, felt like, yep, this is it.
We also wanted to give a shout out to our Marvel Monday winner. If you guys didn't know, we ask a challenging Marvel related trivia question over on our community tab. If you answer it correctly, you get a chance to have your answer featured here in one of our videos.
Justin has been working on this music even before we began shooting, so you feel that in the work.
There's no doubt in my mind this is a score for the ages.
We get to see both sides to one story with someone who has a lot of money versus almost none, and it just seems like there was a lot of time and effort put into making this film, considering it was shot in a field but with multiple sets surrounding it.
The first week of shooting was the sort of big kinescope sequence.
We found this location in Peru, and we came here because it's completely desolate, and it was what Hollywood and studios looked like in the silent film era.
With 7,000 costumes in the movie total, the costume designer explains what she had to do in order to fill all of these requests for such a movie. And it makes sense that there would be a ton of costume changes throughout because of what the film is about, celebrities. And in real life, we can see that there are a lot of costumes that people wear in a film.
Between background and 150 speaking parts. And principal cast members had about 15 changes.
Margot Robbie's character Nellie describes a specific scene where she swims in something that might seem familiar to some who have been doing some research for this film. She was recently spotted out in a very similar design dress during an interview.
Oh, that came out of nowhere.
Nellie comes from nothing, and if we could see that in a costume, then great.
Honey, you don't become a star. You either are one or you ain't.
It's the winter version of the outfit I'm wearing in the poster, pretty much. I wear this like red scarf wrapped around and nothing else, and it's a little chilly, so it's the winter version.
We get to hear a little bit more about how the sounds were designed and how all of it was put together.
I wanted the film to feel like a circus, like a roller coaster. You know, it had to be a truly immersive sound experience.
Diego Calva talks on his character and what he is all about.
And yeah, he's going to try to get his way into this new era of Hollywood movies, and he's gonna pay a price.
Brad Pitt also spills on the behind-the-scenes moment and the party scenes he shot, and one particular scene with numerous extras.
Man, this party scene went on for 2 weeks, and like the first day was a bit shocking. Like even for me, wow, we're doing this? 2 weeks into it, it was just like another day at the office.
Damien Chazelle also talks his most difficult shot of his career. He was discovered after posting his script to La La Land on the Blacklist, which is a site that is connected to IMDb, where unsolicited writers can publish their work in order for directors to find them, to which one did, and he was encouraged to write a short 18-minute film for proof of concept.
Babylon is an original epic set in the early days of Hollywood. It's about ambition, it's about excess, it's about hubris, and it's about a society on the brink of massive change.
Even though he hasn't been in the business for long, it's clear that he has a lot of work cut out for him with this film alone.
You know, they would still find something in it. I would say, to kind of complete the sentiment that you're referring to, you know, hate letter to Hollywood on some level, but a love letter to to movies or to cinema or to the art form itself.
And as far as the answer to our trivia question, the film Brad starred in 1999 was Fight Club.
It's like a little kiss. She crushes this thing, right? That is the most G-rated thing she does in this movie.
So what do you guys think about all this? Are you interested in seeing this film, and what are your expectations of it? Let us know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. Make sure to subscribe with notifications on for more videos just like this. That's it for today though. We'll see you all next time with a brand new video.